Welcome to the Scripting Wi-Fi Pen Testing Tools in Python course at Pentester Academy. Now in the last video, we saw the basics of Scapy and how to begin sniffing packets with the sniff function. Now in this video, we are going to look at packet handlers in Scapy. So what is really a packet handler? Now in the last video, we had used the sniff call to go ahead and receive Wi-Fi packets using Scapy. But what do you do with these packets, right? You might want to analyze them and probably take action, which might include printing out a report, which could be a summary of what you see over the air, or it could be even injecting packets to conduct an attack. There could be a host of things that you would like to do. Now, this is where packet handlers really make things very convenient and allow us to process each packet individually. Typically, these are callback functions, and let me show you how this works. So let me go inside Scapy again. I'm going to set the interface to mon0. Now let me actually define a packet handler. So def in Python is for define. Packet handler takes an input which it is going to receive, which is the actual packet. Remember, Python is a language where indentation is important. I'm using 3 spaces right now as indentation. Now within this we can do a print packet.summary and then return. Now we can have our sniff call and sniff, let's say 10 packets. Now let me check if my card is up and running. Oh, my mistake. You're sniffing, but we haven't mentioned the packet handler anywhere. And this is where we're going to set PRN, which is where you mention the packet handler. And we point it to the packet handler function. There you go. And if you notice, now we are receiving our different frames. And this would pretty much continue till we receive all the 10 frames. Okay, now how do we do more processing? So for this, let's go ahead and use Scapy as a module in Python so that we can do a lot more stuff with it. So I'm going to go ahead and now write a simple Python script. The editor for me is going to be Vim. Feel free to use Pico, Nano, or any other editor you might like. Let me call this packet handler.py. I'm going to take the sys module simply because I'd like to accept command line arguments in the form of sys.argvx. And then let's import Scapy. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a from scapy.all import star. Now let's go ahead and define our packet handler function. Packet handler and let's print the summary of the packet and just return. Use the sniff call here. iface equals sys.argv1, the first argument. Count equals, let's convert to int, the second argument. And then finally the packet handling function packet handler just as we've defined above. Now let's run this with mon 0 and 10. We also start arrow dump so that we can probably see some traffic. And there you go. Right, let me restart this again. Turn off my Wi-Fi. Great, right? So you can see probe request packets and a bunch of other things. For example, my laptop was sending out probe request packets for an SSID I had connected to before. And in this case, we go ahead and see a lot more packets. Now, here's the interesting thing, that if we had run this on ETH0, and let me go ahead and ping, so let's figure out the IP address, ping 10.0.2.2. If I do this, if you notice, Scapy is now going ahead and printing the ICMP echo requests and responses, right? This is fantastic, but honestly, we need some way by which we can detect that the received packet is actually an 802.11 packet, because that's all we are interested in. So how do we do that? Well, it's really simple. In Scapy, we can actually leverage a call called hasLayer, within which you can mention the layer you're interested in. So let's say .11. So what this means is, if this is a .11 packet, then we are going to go ahead and do this. Else, let's just go ahead and print not an 802.11 packet. Right, fantastic. So now if we go back in here, we continue with our pings. You'd see it says not an 802.11 packet for all the packets it sees on Ethernet. Now when we run it on mon 0, it pretty much goes ahead and gives us only the .11 packets. Right, fantastic. So this is really how you can go ahead and write a very simple packet handler in Scapy, and this packet handler now checks that this is really a .11 packet which we have just received. If not, it goes ahead and does nothing, but just prints not a .11 packet, right? So try this out. I think this is probably one of those very important examples where you understand how we can go ahead and look at what is there inside the packet and parse it further. So hopefully you had fun in this video, and if you're enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, then please do recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the InfoSec community. Thank you.